What's up, everybody? Welcome to part 1 of 3 of my Super Bowl special. Chances are on the day of the big game, you're going to eat a ton of these. But what if these things are off limits? That's where I come in. Now, I mentioned in the intro that this was part 1 of 3 of my Super Bowl special. I'm going to do one a week until the Super Bowl, third one being on the Super Bowl. Or the day of. I'll probably put it out that morning because you won't have time to make the Super Bowl food I'm going to talk about that day if the game's already playing. If this food here was supposed to be part 2 in between the first one and the third one. But due to an ingredient shortage that seemed to be widespread in my local area, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this one now since it was quickest and easiest to make and already had the ingredients. Now if you follow this channel, you know that last week I made pizzas out of these Joseph Lavash Pita Flax breads. Or Joseph's Flax pita breads. I don't know how it goes. I always call them Joseph Flax tortillas because they look like little tortillas. But you'll know I made the pizzas out of them last week. Well, this week I'm making low carb chips out of those same flax pita breads. Now Joseph makes a lot of different shapes. It makes small tortillas, small pitas, the regular size tortilla shaped pitas, and the sheet. Now you can make these chips out of everything, and the time and temp are the same for them, but the carbs are different on each one. So go ahead and give that a check. But for this each one of those pitas are 5 carbs a piece, and I use 2 for my single person recipe. Like for one person, two does just fine, and it weighs in about 10 total. So it goes the whole 9. And if you're not dealing with stuff that's like really carby. The dips aren't really carby, which are usually not. If you're eating them and you're carb conscious, the dips aren't going to be carby. They're mostly cheese, spinach, that kind of stuff. Go ahead and make 4. That's just 20 carbs. Run you a mile before the party, you'll be all right. But with the 2 pita bread recipe like I'm doing now, you get a ton of chips, a whole cookie sheet full. So without further ado, here's how you make them. Take 2 Joseph's pitas, obviously. Lightly coat each side in olive oil. I like to dab it with a paper towel. And just make it to where it kind of glistens, like look like somebody's been at the beach for a little while. They're glistening. I sprinkle salt and pepper over each side, and this is up to you. But I find it makes them taste a lot better. It gives them real savory flavor. Now take a pair of cooking shears or a knife. I like to cooking shears, the scissors best, and cut them in half. And then cut those halves into triangles. And then once you got all the triangles, you split them apart. And you can make 2 chips per triangle. And put all those on a cookie sheet and put it in an oven for 400 degrees for 10 minutes. Sometimes you can go 15, but 10 works just fine for me. You'll want them hot, not hot, but you'll definitely want them hot. But you want them, kind of brown, golden brown, maybe darker golden brown. And you want them crispy, but you don't want them burnt. If they're burnt, they will disintegrate. And like I said before, these suckers are crunchy and savory, and the salt and pepper does real good with them. Like it fits right in, it soaks in with olive oil and sticks to it. And I've never had a dip that it didn't go good with. Spinach artichoke, the standard Rotel dip that everybody makes, that crack dip with the bacon and the cream cheese and the cheddar you sometimes make. It's really just a cheese bacon dip. And last but not least, not all inclusive, last but not least, the buffalo chicken dip that everybody makes. Because those are what I consider the big 4. That's what everybody makes for a party. And if you're trying to watch your carb, sugar intake, those are the 4 you're going to go for anyway. The only thing you have to do once you get them out of the oven is kind of let them cool for a minute or 2. But if you can stand it, eat it as soon as they come out. Now when I started my low carb keto thing a few months ago, this was one of those things that changed it for me. This kind of got me over the hump of I can't have bread, I can't have pizza, I can't have chips, cookies, all that stuff. Because these brought chips back into the mix, which opened up doors to all kinds of different stuff. And I love the fact that they were fairly quick to make. And this fact helps another area that some people may be missing. The chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant. Like I said, it only takes 10, 15 minutes max to make a whole bag of chips. Take them with you to a Mexican restaurant and you can eat chips and salsa again. And cheese dip. Did I just blow your mind? That's right. If I did just blow your mind and you're going to make these and take them to a Mexican place tomorrow, like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, subscribe anyway because they get better. Just ask the people that watch the crap about the rabbit yawning. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I have the one I plan to do today on next week and probably have some highlights of my filming that I'll do this weekend or throughout this week to make sure I get next week's video done so I'm not shopping at the 11th hour on Sunday with it flooding outside, by the way. I don't know if you know anything. If you're not from this part of the country, I'm from North Alabama, it is flooding right now. It's better than the tornadoes that hit down south, but right now the parking lot's running like a river. So, with that being said, see you next weekend. Thanks for watching.